Blackhead prevention starts with a gentle routine, not a harsh one. Blackheads form when oil, dead skin cells, and tiny bits of daily debris collect inside a pore, and the top of that plug darkens after exposure to air. They are not a sign that someone is dirty, and they usually do not improve when the skin is scrubbed aggressively. In many cases, rough treatment only leaves the skin more irritated, more reactive, and harder to manage. A calm routine usually works better than an aggressive one. Wash the face gently in the morning and again at night with a mild cleanser and lukewarm water. Avoid very hot water, harsh scrubs, rough brushes, and the urge to attack the skin as if it were a stain that can be polished away. If makeup, sunscreen, sweat, or daily buildup is still on the skin at the end of the day, remove it properly before bed. Lightweight, water-based, or non-comedogenic products are often a better choice for skin that clogs easily, especially around the nose, chin, forehead, and jawline. Moisturizer still matters, even when skin feels oily, because skin that feels stripped and uncomfortable can become more reactive. If the skin tolerates it, salicylic acid may help loosen clogged material inside pores, and adapalene may help keep pores from becoming blocked over time. The important thing is to start slowly and stay steady instead of trying too much too fast. Squeezing blackheads with fingernails or tools may feel productive for a moment, but it often leads to irritation, lingering marks, and a cycle of touching the face that creates more trouble than progress. Hair oils, pomades, and heavy styling products can also quietly contribute to clogged pores around the forehead and temples, so it helps to keep those products away from facial skin whenever possible. Pillowcases, hats, and phone screens do not need to become a source of anxiety, but keeping them reasonably clean supports a better environment for the skin. Prevention is not about perfection. It is about making pores less likely to clog, keeping the skin barrier calmer, and choosing a routine gentle enough to keep doing for months. And now, with that practical skin advice folded away neatly like a clean towel in a bathroom cabinet, let us move into the longer, warmer, and much more cheerful part of the evening, where instead of cleansers, cotton pads, and magnifying mirrors, we find ourselves in a small American town full of casseroles, raffle baskets, pie, folding chairs, and one retired gentleman who accidentally becomes far more important to local happiness than he ever intended. In the town of Pine Harbor, Oklahoma, 74-year-old Clifford Mason believed that almost every major inconvenience in life began with somebody saying, "It'll be simple." In Clifford's experience, nothing described that way had ever once been simple. Not tax forms, not lawn projects, not family photo sessions, and certainly not church socials. Clifford had retired from the county hardware warehouse after 40 years of organizing invoices, checking shipments, and explaining to otherwise decent people that a thing did not become measured simply because they felt strongly about its length. He liked neat shelves, sensible shoes, black coffee, and evenings that remained exactly where he left them. He lived alone in a modest white house with dark shutters, a narrow porch, and a detached garage so carefully arranged that some visitors lowered their voices when they stepped inside. His wife, Donna, had died 6 years earlier. Since then, he had built his life out of habits sturdy enough to carry silence. Up at 6, coffee at 6 to 10, newspaper at 6:15, breakfast at 7, a walk at 8 if the weather had decent manners, lunch at noon, a short nap after lunch that he called structural reflection, supper at 5:30, dishes at 6, porch by 6:30, bed at 10. It was predictable. It was calm. It was respectable. Some evenings, though, when the air cooled and the room settled, it was also quieter than he liked to admit. The chief disruption to Clifford's peace was his next-door neighbor, Ruby Collins. Ruby was 71, quick-moving, cheerful, and organized with the confidence of a woman who considered both casseroles and committees sacred civic tools. She wore bright cardigans, practical flats, and reading glasses on a gold chain that made her look ready to revise a sign, run a raffle, and correct a pie label before anyone else had found a pen. She chaired the church fellowship committee, helped run the library fundraiser, supervised the winter mitten drive, and believed every living person in Pine Harbor possessed some hidden talent for public usefulness, particularly the ones insisting they did not. On a windy Thursday afternoon in late October, Clifford was sitting on his porch with a mug of coffee and half a slice of peach cake when Ruby came up the walkway carrying a covered casserole dish and a thick yellow folder. Clifford looked at the folder and said, "No." Ruby stopped at the bottom step. "You haven't even heard the question. You have a folder. I also have chicken noodle casserole. That means the folder is serious. That means I came prepared." "For what?" "For your refusal." Clifford leaned back in his chair. "Then at least one of us came prepared." Ruby climbed the steps anyway, set the casserole on the porch table, and sat down without invitation. "The harvest candle supper has a problem," she said. Clifford closed his eyes for one brief second. The Harvest Candle Supper was the annual church hall gathering featuring casseroles, raffle baskets, local musicians, homemade pies, decorative lanterns, and enough folding chairs to suggest the town was bracing for either fellowship or sworn testimony. "What sort of problem?" he asked. The MC backed out. "Why?" His daughter invited him to Tulsa. "That sounds legitimate." He also said he was not really a microphone person. Clifford nodded. "That sounds wise." Ruby ignored him. "So naturally, I thought of you." "Why would you do that?" "Because you speak clearly, people trust you, and you are funny." Clifford stared at her. "I am not funny. You are after 70. Dry counts. I worked in stock control. You spent 40 years explaining basic measurements to impatient people. You can handle a room. That is not the same as wanting one. You do not need to entertain. Just welcome people, introduce the musicians, announce the raffle baskets, and keep the evening moving. That sounds like work in polished shoes. That sounds like community. That sounds like trouble with gravy." Ruby smiled. "You'll be good." "I'll be reluctant. That is not a skill." "It should be." She tapped the folder. "I may already have written your name in pencil." Clifford looked at the casserole. "You volunteered me before I agreed?" "In pencil," Ruby said. "I'm not reckless." "No," Clifford replied. "Just efficient in a way that wears a man down. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock. And if I refuse? I'll tell everyone you were intimidated by a microphone and decorative wheat. Those are not equal threats. Together they make a believable story." So that was how Clifford Mason, retired warehouse man and defender of quiet evenings, became the emergency MC of Pine Harbor's Harvest Candle Supper. For the next 24 hours, Clifford prepared as if he were about to negotiate peace between rival pie territories. He found his navy blazer, the one reserved for weddings, funerals, and restaurant dinners where the napkins arrived, folded like sculpture. He polished his loafers. He wrote note cards. Then he rewrote them. Then he made backup note cards, in case the first set failed morally. On Friday morning, his daughter Susan called from Dallas. "Dad," Ruby told Mrs. Harper. Mrs. Harper told Aunt Linda, and Aunt Linda told me you're hosting the church supper. "Ruby should not have access to communication systems," Clifford said. Susan laughed. "You'll do great. I have 6 note cards. That means you care. I have backup note cards. That means you're still perfectly yourself. I also practiced pronouncing the fiddler's last name. That means you're prepared." He practiced that afternoon in the hallway mirror. "Good evening, everyone," and welcome to the Harvest Candle Supper. Too stiff. Hello, friends and neighbors. Too cheerful. He looked like a man about to sell discounted grass seed. Thank you all for coming tonight. Too vague. Coming for what and under what emotional arrangement? By the fifth attempt, he had introduced himself twice, thanked the umbrella stand, and nodded respectfully at the thermostat. At that point, he decided the house had endured enough. Ruby arrived at 5:40 in a rust-colored sweater and earrings shaped like tiny lanterns. "You look distinguished," she said. "You look administrative," Clifford replied. "That's because I am. That's what worries me." The church hall was already crowded when they arrived. Long tables draped in orange and brown paper cloths filled the room. Mason jars with battery candles sat beside small pumpkins and artificial leaves. Raffle baskets gleamed beneath taut cellophane. Crock pots lined the back wall beside casseroles, beans, cornbread, slaw, pies, cobblers, cakes, and 2 gelatin dishes. Clifford distrusted on visual principle. The room smelled like coffee, gravy, cinnamon, and determined goodwill. Retirees in cardigans sat near the front. Children in sweaters moved between chairs like small weather systems with shoelaces. Widowers in sport coats stood by the coffee urn, discussing the weather as if it had asked for official review. Mrs. Tally guarded the pie table with the composed intensity of a museum curator protecting a national heirloom. Ruby handed Clifford the microphone backstage. "Why is this so heavy?" he whispered. "Because it contains responsibility. It contains batteries and pressure." She patted his sleeve and vanished into volunteer traffic, which mostly involved brisk walking and lists. Clifford stepped onto the stage.